Hello and welcome to another episode of Beer Man's No Bull Beer Reviews. Today I have another beer from Resonant Culture Brewing out of Charlotte, North Carolina. This beer is called Thunder Study. So this is a smaller version of Thunder Stud, which I think that was somewhere between 8.5 and 8 and 8.5. This one is 7%. But I think it's the same hops. I'm not sure, but this one here says Galaxy and Citra. Yeah, that's what we got. So, hoping this is another killer IPA from these guys. I'm sure it will be. So as you can see, it pours a very, very hazy, I would say darker golden color with about a finger's worth of a pretty nice fluffy white head. Aroma is just absolutely saturated with like peach, passion fruit, and pineapple. This honestly might be the best smelling IPA they've done. Maybe besides Soul Sauce. That was my favorite IPA of theirs up to this point. But this just smells absolutely amazing. But it still smells like hops too. It has a nice underbelly of like just fresh green hops. But it definitely is very juicy too. To me, that is almost an absolutely perfect New England IPA. Almost perfect. Like the aroma, there's a ton of peach and pineapple. It's slightly more earthy than the aroma is. There's more of the like resinous hop character, but it's still pretty light. It's definitely more juicy than dank. It's a little sweet, compared to like West Coast IPAs. It's not sweet for a New England IPA. I think it's right on style. And there's a perfect amount of bitterness to balance that out. And the carbonation level was perfect too. Sorry, I just keep looking at the beer. This is I would say it's a slight notch below Soul Sauce for my favorite IPA that they've done. I might like it better than Thunder Stud, which I thought was really good, and I like it a little bit better than Vicky Virago. Those are like my favorite four that they've done. This is just, it's so incredibly clean. Actually, the more I drink it, the juicy character is like not falling off, but I feel like I'm just getting a little used to it. And I am picking up more of the bitterness. It's actually a little bit of bitterness sitting at the back of my tongue, which I would say that's like the one negative to this beer. I wish it was scaled back just a tiny bit in that sense. It's not too much where it's detracting me from drinking it, but I wish it was just like slightly less bitter in the back of the tongue. But to have it this flush with hops, that tiny bitterness in the back, I'll take that as long as it's not overwhelming, which some beers are like that. But yeah, it's honestly, for me, sometimes it's harder to describe the beers I really like than the beers that I don't like, because the ones that I don't like, I can just pick out, like, okay, this is weird, I don't like this, with beers that I think are fantastic, it's like this just meets all the check marks that I like in a beer and or in that style of beer. And I feel like I've mentioned those so many times in videos. Sometimes it's hard for me to come up with a reason why I like it so much. The reason why I like it so much is because there's not stuff wrong with it. Not even as much as just that there's things that are so amazing about it. I mean, it's because it's great because it is what it's supposed to be. It's not bad because it is what it's not supposed to be, if that makes any sense. Like, this reminds me of when I first had a couple of, like, the really good New England IPAs before they were, like, really big. Before everyone started making them and, like, doing half-ass jobs. Like, this reminds me of the really good ones the first, when I first really started trying them. I mean, to me, it's just a slightly softer, more loaded with hops version of a New England IPA. Like, that's all it is. It doesn't have that lactose crap in it. It's not overly sweet. It's still really balanced. It's just an absolutely amazing beer. Honestly, in my opinion, these guys are getting very, very close to Brew Gentlemen in quality in some of their better IPAs. And to me, I actually think that not all of them, but some of their best IPAs I think are better than the best Dancing Gnome IPAs. And that's saying a lot because I really think Dancing Gnome is doing a hell of a job now. But these guys are just like, some of the ones that are their top of the line stuff to me are like absolutely flawless. So I think the word's getting out on these guys a little bit more now. And I think especially since they're doing the Wild Ale beers, which have also been absolutely fantastic. Some people are sending those out. I think they're getting a little more well-known around the country. Where maybe a lot of people haven't had them, but they've at least heard the name before. But they just put like a massive Imperial Stout in bourbon barrels. And they haven't really done anything. I mean, they've done like one or two smaller porters, and that's about it. So, if that comes out and that's really great, like, they're going to be a really great, well-rounded brewery. So I'm really excited for that because they actually, like, a lot of their bloggers are great too, but just no one wants them. So, I'll drink them myself, that's fine. But those are hard to send out to anybody because most people just don't want that kind of style. But they're really great too. But yeah, it's enough gushing over Resident Culture. They're just a really, really great brewery. But yeah, this one, this can is, I think, 5 weeks old, which isn't like the freshest, but it is still tasting amazing. I've had cans from them that were 3 months old, and they tasted like they came off the line yesterday. So if you see this in the near future, I would absolutely go after it. It is a fantastic IPA. So that obviously, by saying that, this is definitely a buy for me. Absolute buy. I think it was $18, which is pretty standard for their IPAs, double IPAs. So yeah, that's all I got in this guy. Please like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think, and I look forward to doing the next one. Thanks.